It's about that time. What's happening in your city? You got love for your city? And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of CT Views coming at you right here from your local access Altice Channel 5 studios in Litchfield and Torrington. Actually, it's like right on the Litchfield County, Litchfield Torrington line. Like, it is.
It's a good neck of the woods.
It is. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in. As always, each and every Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. is when the madness starts. And my name is Jacque Williams. I'm your host for this most auspicious ride through the Northwest Corner. Unfortunately, my co-host and better half, Carice Villarreal, will not be joining us this evening. The fine weather that we're experiencing right now has her rather occupied at the moment. So, nonetheless, I'm running solo. Well, not all the way solo, because as our special guest here this evening, I am so thrilled to have the future in the house. Okay, and Victoria Bunch Fortuna is here with us this evening, and I'm so glad to have her here. And we're going to be talking about some really cool stuff. If you guys are not familiar, the business that she runs is Daily Moving and Storage. They're known throughout the region, throughout the tri-state for decades. And want to talk to Victoria about, it's tough having a business that's handed down to you at such a young age. But as you'll be able to tell once we get into the conversation, she's well up to the task, okay? So stay tuned. Call all your friends and neighbors. Tell them to catch it while it's hot. The best, the very, very best in quality community broadcasting coming at you right here from your local cable access Altice Channel 5. In the meantime, we want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, give them their props for their generosity and support. Without them, we could not bring you each and every week the happenings and what's going on in the Northwest Corner. So without further ado, I want to take this opportunity to thank Mel Brookman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite Number 1 in Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. The Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington, Connecticut. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. So once again, thank you to our sponsors for all your support and generosity. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been looking for. How long have we been talking about this?
A while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, last time I was on was probably 6 months ago, and we said we got to
Yep.
do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But sooner did not come soon enough.
It did not.
But you're here, and I'm glad. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you Victoria Bunch Fortuna. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And the reason why I wanted to get Victoria back here is because I think that in this day and age, um, small business people, entrepreneurs, um, are facing challenges in ways that perhaps we may not have been faced with before.
Yeah, definitely.
And uh, we're going into this new frontier, this new world, um, and with that, you have to have a good grasp of the space that you're working in, the environment that you're working in, and normally it takes years to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a position where you've been handled this huge responsibility, but I think the pride that comes along with that has to give you a great sense of uh, purpose and knowing that you not only have this responsibility as a business person, but as a female. Talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that and how you relate to that and how that motivates you to keep this legacy going.
Yeah. Well, I think it's exactly that. I think it's legacy.
Yep.
I think, if you've ever been in the same room as my mom, you see like the power that she brings. And, yeah. And so I think that legacy is the number one driving factor. And I talk a ton. That's one of the things I've been doing with, driving the business right now forward is just leaning into what legacy looks like and honestly feels like, because like you said, we're in a new world. Everything is shifting. I was just actually talking to one of my younger siblings the other day, and I told her, like, when I started driving, I remember having to print out MapQuest, and I'm not actually that old. But I remember, like, going to Six Flags and having to print out MapQuest. I'll tell you, I'm 33. Like, that wasn't that long ago, and
Right.
she couldn't even fathom that because
Right.
she's 11 years younger than me. And so when you're faced with this world that's just, like, shifting, it's easy to be like overwhelmed by it. But what I think has kept our business very, very like thriving and successful is that, that lineage, that legacy, we feel it in our bones. And so it doesn't feel like, oh, we have to show up to work and figure out the next thing. It's like we have to honor what has been given to us and we're going to give back to it. So,
Well, it's interesting because I first met you in church.
yeah.
Uh, your mother invited me and another friend to join you for services, which presented a great opportunity to get to meet you and your family
Mm-hmm.
and to see how that legacy component of the business was embedded into
Yeah.
all of your lives. And it was such a sweet moment and something that I really enjoyed. And I could just feel that sense of togetherness and oneness,
Yeah.
and understanding that you possess something that has been given value
Mm-hmm.
and has also given you guys a way to share your successes with the community. And your mother,
Totally.
I think, is really a proponent of that.
Yeah.
And that even goes down to actually how you work with your employees and hire your
Mm-hmm.
employees. Talk a little bit about those relationship building aspects of what you're doing in the business.
Yeah, totally. So I can say, as long as the day is, I can talk about how dynamic and strong she is, but a huge part of what our legacy is what we've been in the community, because it is absolutely the heart behind what we do. Growing up under the roof of my mother, not just the business of her, it has always been like we work hard
Yeah.
so that we can share.
Yeah.
And so that has
Oh, wow.
always been who we are.
Yeah.
And that's not something that's taught. She
Right.
never sat me down and said specifically, this is what you do to do that. I just saw it. I saw the 10 o'clock. I remember, like, there were moments my stepdad would leave at night and move somebody in the middle of the night because it was a
Yeah.
domestic violence situation, and we
Yeah.
had to move them quietly and quickly and those types of things. And so I think one of the things, our business will be 100 years old next year, which
Yep.
is a big feat for a company like ours. It is
Absolutely
not
it
an easy
is.
business. And so for a business to be such a difficult business, to be 100 years old, there
Wow.
has to be some sort of magic behind that. And I would say the magic is we don't do the job so that the end of the day is the bottom line works out for us. I've seen, our company with my mom at the front, but our company, our employees, our office staff, our guys, like, work to give back to our community.
Yep.
One of the things we do through the holidays is, we deliver teddy bears across the state for kids in need. And, I've seen us work with Susan B. Anthony and all of these shelters and homes around because we have access. And, the root of what we do is, we believe we have been blessed. And so we bless the community.
Yeah.
And that looks a lot of different ways. Sometimes
Yep.
that means like literally giving away furniture to people in need. But sometimes it also means like just being kind. Somebody called, I was in the office the other day and I just overheard, I was working on something else and I just overheard my mom answer the phone and talk to a woman who was being like manipulated, and her stuff was, she was moving from, Ohio to Florida. We were not her mover. She was not
Yep.
going to be our client, but she somehow like called our number she found it or something. No, actually my mom saw on Facebook, she like put out an SOS like for help. She just walked her through it. My mom ended up calling the other company and like talking through what her options were. We won't see a dime from that person, but that's what our company does. Like, we are a community company. We step in because that's what matters to us. That's what has always mattered. My grandfather, unfortunately he died when I was very young, but I've seen that in my mom, and that's how we carry forward. And so, you asked about like being a female in this position too, like, you have to be strong, but I do firmly believe that like the female compassionate like mothering comes
Absolutely.
out for sure in the way that my mom has led this business. I have seen her give sixth chances to guys. And when you treat your employees well, your employees treat your company well. And so we have a team of people. Our warehouseman, he has literally been with us since my brother, who's like stepping into running the company now, Jeffrey Jr., was 2. Like, I
Wow.
interviewed him the other day for one of our social media things. Jeffrey was 2,
Wow.
which meant I was 9. So he's seen me,
Yep.
he used to always say, I almost ran you over with the rollerblades in the warehouse. He's always given me like a hard time for that. But that doesn't just happen because it's good money. That happens because it's family. That,
Your relationship
Yeah.
building relationships. 1 second here. Dan, Doug, the producers of the show, can we like get, for future shows, can we get some uplighting up here so I don't look so dark? I mean, I'm like, I mean, I'm just saying, we don't have to do anything about it now, but in the future. I couldn't even see myself. I like disappeared. I love giving these guys a hard time. They're going to kill me after the
Come
show.
on, we gotta treat our people well.
Well, we do, but I got to keep them on their toes,
That's
man.
true.
Because they could do some real tricky stuff to me.
I guess that is
They
true.
they can
You
really
are in a vulnerable
they
position.
can really make my life miserable. But as we're discussing small businesses here and how the community can benefit from these endeavors, we want to take this opportunity to check out a small business in Harwinton, especially with a day like today. I was like, "Is this real heat? It's real heat.
This is when I come alive.
Real heat."
Yeah.
And when you got some real heat, there's nothing better to bring it than ice cream. So without further ado, let's check out 5 Scoops.
Yummy,
We'll be right back.
yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony for 5 Scoops Ice Cream Shop. And we just happen to have the opportunity to take away for a few brief minutes the owner of this establishment, Miss Leanne Hogan.
Hi there.
Good morning, Leanne.
Good morning. Thank you for coming.
Well, the incentive I could not pass up. Now, let me tell you guys, if you love ice cream, this is a destination. Among the assorted flavors of ice cream that you have, people who might have issues You even got something for those people.
Yes, we have a product called Oat Mazing. It's gluten-free, and it's for the vegan crowd. We have Super Berry Acai, and we have Classic Cookie.
What was the name of that again?
Oat Mazing.
Oat Mazing is amazing. I think it's very interesting, Leanne, that your entrepreneurial journey has brought you to this point.
Yes.
Share with our audience a little bit about your passion and motivation for being an entrepreneur.
Well, years ago, I used to own two ice cream shops, from 2002 to 2010. And then I, took a break, and I opened another company, which is called Made My Day. It's a house cleaning company, and I just really enjoy working for myself. I enjoy, taking care of other people, making them happy. And I mean, everybody's happy when they come home to a clean house, and everybody's happy getting ice cream.
She's in the happy making business. So you can come on down here and get happy. So what are the hours of the operation?
We're open 7 days a week, 11 to 9.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm a bit preoccupied. This is so good. Also, you told me that last time we talked that you have over 30 flavors.
We have 36 flavors of ice cream, yes.
Now, how did you, especially coming out of your prior business,
right?
How did you come into this business and be able to be so efficient in terms of putting all the accoutrements in place so that you can have a great product that you're putting out?
Right. Well, having done it for years in the past, I just really, I have a passion for ice cream. And I know exactly what people are looking for, and I wanted to make the place, appealing to everyone. I mean, I love, when kids come in, but also I want to make adults happy and make, everything, just make it appealing to everyone.
It's certainly appealing. And this morning when I walked in, and Shane, who's videotaping this for us, he can tell you that last night was quite an evening. So we come here this morning, we walk in the place, and it's just like, boom, it just lights you up. It
screams ice cream.
It's not only does it scream ice cream, it's got kind of like like a Miami Beach kind of feel to it. It's
yes.
all light and bright inside, and it just lifts your spirit.
Yes.
What was the thought behind putting together the interiors for the shop?
The first thing I purchased were the waffle cone lights that hang above the coolers. That was my inspiration for the entire place.
Yeah.
And then I knew I wanted bright colors. I wanted the pink and the green. I wanted it to look like, sherbet. And then we found the waffle cone sconces. Everything, I wanted it to tie together around those waffle cone lights. It's just something that I do. I just find one thing and build around it.
It's great. It's fantastic. And your family, we had a chance to meet some of your family members this morning. How supportive are they in this endeavor for you?
I have a very supportive family. I'm one of 8. And most of my family was here today that could be here. Some of them live in other, one lives in Washington, one lives in Oklahoma, so they couldn't be here, but they're here in spirit. They've been here throughout everything, and it's been a long 2-month process of getting this place opened, and they've helped, with the painting, they've helped with setting up. It's just, everybody knows how much this place means to me, that they just wanted to help me be successful.
And I thought it was so sweet, such a very kind and thoughtful gesture. You did a Facebook Live for your son, who's stationed in Germany, right?
My son is in the Air Force, and he is stationed in Germany, so he couldn't be here. And he grew up around ice cream. When I first opened my first shop, he was 1 year old. I mean, he was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up around it, and it's his passion too. When he gets out of the military, to own his own shop. So he's very happy for me, but it's really emotional that he couldn't be here. But he was here. He was here on FaceTime, and he was happy to be a part of it.
So there is something positive about social media, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Now, and for your son, because I grew up in the Air Force, so just want to send him out a big thumbs up.
Thank you.
And definitely, we want to, on our behalf, thank him for his service.
I will. Thank you very much.
So, Leanne, what's your vision for this place? How can you reach out to the community to let them know that you have something very special here for them.
Well, I do make a lot of Facebook posts. I'm planning on working with the schools for their ice cream socials. Right behind us is the rec fields. So there's the baseball, the soccer, everything. I want to work with them there.
Right.
I have kids in the school system, so I'm planning on, handing out, coupons for the kids at the end of the school year. It's all about making families happy. One of my main things is the way that I price things here. I want a family to be able to come in and afford to take their kids out for ice cream.
Right.
I don't want it to be because, I have 4 children myself, and there have been times where you want to go out for ice cream, and, sometimes you just can't afford it.
Yeah.
And I want to make it so they can afford to bring their families.
Well, it's just about that time of the year. The weather's starting to get warm. People are looking for things to do and places to go. And I highly recommend that you check out 5 Scoop Ice Cream Shop, okay? You'll be glad you did. So, Leanne, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with our audience today.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
It was no place else that I would be, let me tell you, okay? Because this stuff is the bomb diggity. All right?
Okay.
Come on down, check it out. Jacque Williams reporting here for City Views. Thank you so much, and we'll be back with more good stuff for you.
Man, I want some ice cream.
Me too, on a day like today.
Yeah, this is really difficult, guys. I don't know how we're quite going to deal with this.
We'll meet there. We'll meet at 5 Scoops.
Call them now,
After
make
the
sure they're
show.
open.
Yeah.
It is hot outside, too, today.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
really
just
hot.
text her. I'll text Lee.
That's right, you're connected.
That's right. That you just watched. That's my stepdad's sister. Yeah.
Man, how did you do that?
That's what I told you. The beauty of the Northwest corner.
How you do that, Victoria?
The beauty of the Northwest corner, right? That is like that is why it's magic over here, right? We can do so much because we're all so connected.
Well, and you speak truth, and I will certainly testify that one of the reasons when I first moved to Torrington all those years ago that I care not to admit, there was a time when I could have moved back to New York because I was working on a project, and like going back and forth was like,
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I'm like, I have to make a decision. And I chose to stay here in Torrington. And one of the reasons that I decided to do that was because of the friendships and relationships that I've made in my time here. And I'm like, not that I didn't have that in New York, but
Right. It's different.
very different, when I first moved to Torrington, people made me feel welcome, and, I think music has a way of kind of doing that. And the fact that, the town was transitioning from a mill town to an arts and culture destination just seemed to be a nice fit for me. And as they say, the rest is history.
That's it.
So now it's really cool to see the next generation coming into play, and you guys are bringing it. I so much admire your generation because you guys have lived through so much, and I think that it's hard for us sometimes to appreciate the fact that the world that you guys are going to live in will be somewhat different than the world we grew up in. Talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on that, Victoria, and how you see your place in this ever-evolving business climate to make your business be sustainable.
Yeah. Well, that's like, the hot topic, right? Because everything's shifting. How do you keep what was and keep up with the culture and the movements that are happening? And like I kind of said before, things are moving fast. I think that's the trickiest part of all of it. Because even in my generation, like I said, printing out MapQuests, and now, my watch can tell me which way to turn, kind of thing.
Unbelievable.
And so I think when it comes to business, like, what we do at Dailies is one of the things I attribute a lot of our success to is that it hasn't been a handoff, right? It's not as if, you know, my mom, her generation, alongside my stepdad, leading our business, wasn't as if they said, okay, now it's you guys, go ahead. You know, they're still here. You know, my parents are still leading the charge while my siblings and I are carrying a lot of that weight. And so I think that that's the magic sauce. You know, if you're looking for what it is, you have to find what it is specifically for your business. But for us, it's like, you know, there are some days when I can get frustrated and be like, you know, in daughter mode and be like, Mom, just listen to me, right? Like, you should do it this way. And then I have to take a step back and say, you know what? The success of what we're standing in is because she did it the way she did it for so long. And so it's my job as somebody who cares about what was, but also perceives what can be, to like mix those two things well. And so I don't ever want to lose the magic of like personal touch because our generation is moving faster because it's bigger, better, faster, right? So the magic of what we can do in our, you know, family run business is that we can run it like a family. We can see the needs of the people around us and we can adapt. We each have our role, we each have our job, and just like a family member, we do that. And so whether actual blood family, because we do have a lot of family in our office too, you know, our office staff has been with us for decades, and like I said, our warehousemen decades, and a lot of our employees have just been around as if they're family, right? When we have a family barbecue, they're invited. So they are family. We couldn't do what we do without them. And so I think it's just, that's the stuff you have to look at. It's so easy to say, okay, the world's moving in the direction of AI and things are easier. You know, you can have a robot come in and estimate your home. Well, you know what? Even as, you know, a millennial, I don't want that. I would rather the person, you know, the man who's been doing it for 35 years, who can come in and estimate the weight of my home. We make jokes in our office because my stepdad can literally, he's never wrong. He can estimate the weight of somebody's living room to the pound sometimes. And it's like a joke in our office who bets on who he's closest to. So anyway, like, I think that's the magic touch. And so are we going to integrate some of those things into our business? Of course, we'd be foolish not to, right? That would be, you know, that's not what is best practice. But what's important, and that legacy we talked about, is mixing those two, is putting it a little bit in a blender, listening from the success, but also lifting the load a little bit off of, you know, my parents, because they've fought hard in this business and they deserve to take it a little bit easier, for sure.
Well, what you're talking about is not easy to do,
No.
and it requires quite a bit of discipline and focus
Yeah.
and vision.
Yeah.
And but we'll get back to that for sure. In the meantime, we want to take this time at the bottom of the hour to once again recognize and thank our sponsors for their generosity and support. Big, huge shout out to Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite number 1 in Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. The Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. 50 years, that's a long time.
That is.
He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. Now, something that we're really, really proud of at Culture for a Cause, who is the producer of CT Views, is our proclamation for the Declaration of Human Rights. Corrice Villarreal, my lovely co-host, is a member of the Declaration, and we would like to share with you our proclamation from the Declaration of Human Rights, brought to you by Corrice Villarreal. Dan, take it away.
In the spirit of unity, equality, and dignity for all, let it be known that Culture for a Cause stands as a beacon of hope and harmony. guided by the principles enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Our mission is simple: to build community through the transformative power of music and the arts. We believe the arts have a unique ability to transcend racial and economic divides, weaving threads of connection that binds us together as one human family. As stated in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to freely participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancements and its benefits. Culture for a Cause wholeheartedly embraces this principle, recognizing the profound impact of art in touching the hearts and souls of individuals, conveying powerful messages that resonates across boundaries. Through our commitment to creating and supporting community arts projects, we strive to foster a sense of belonging and togetherness among people from all walks of life. These projects serve as catalysts for dialogue, understanding, and collaboration, celebrating the rich tapestry of diverse cultures that make up our society. Furthermore, we dedicate ourselves to raising funds for community, social, safety nets through events that center around these arts projects. By combining the transformative power of the arts with a passion for social justice, we aim to not only inspire creativity and connection, but also to support those in need within our community. Be it further proclaimed that we call upon individuals, organizations, and communities to join us in this mission, to celebrate the transformative power of the arts, and to work together to create a world where creativity and compassion flourish, and where every person's human rights are recognized and respected. In witness whereof, this proclamation is made to honor and affirm our collective commitment to these ideals. We thank you for your continued support.
And thank you to my lovely co-host, Carice, also known as Coco Villarreal. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight. She says that it's the heat. I don't believe it.
She's smart. She's going to enjoy it.
I'm going to give her the day off.
Yeah.
I'll give her a break. No sweat.
I'll
But
cover.
in the meantime, I am graced with the presence of Victoria Bunch Fortuna, who has graciously come on the show today. And this is the second time she's been on CT Views. And the reason why we like to have her here on the show is because we think that her company has a very, very unique approach to what they do. It's not just a moving company where they just bring people in, barge them into your house, pack everything up, and move on to the next. No, it's about community. It's about all aspects of the community, and daily moving and storage is involved in all those sectors. So once again, we want to thank you for coming onto the show, taking time out of your busy schedule, and also would like to request that when you attend church services this evening, that you keep CT Views in prayer.
All right. We will.
that nutty Jacque, man, you never know about that guy, but nonetheless, it's great to share with our audience, you, Victoria, and I just think, so highly of you and your family business, and your mother, just working with her in the different capacities that I've been able to work with her. It's really, it's no wonder why success has come your way, because there are building blocks, there are steps, there are processes to that success.
Yeah.
And you've been schooled in them.
I have. It's one of my mom's favorite stories is that I was in high school and she had to run inside somewhere, and she came out of the store and I was in the car and her phone had rang, and I picked it up and I booked a moving job. They were moving from on the East Coast, and I set up an estimate and told her we'd have an estimator out, and my mom caught the tail end of what I was doing, and it's her favorite story to say because she was blown away, and she's like, how did you know how to do that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been listening to you since I was in your womb. Like, that is the easy part of my life, is to book a moving job. And so, we joke, and that's like a funny story. It's incredible that that's like my legacy, but it's so true. My mom has always said her whole life she always wanted to be a teacher. And for a big portion of her life, she kind of like mourned that she wasn't a teacher. And I think in the last, 20-ish years of her life, she's realized that's exactly what she is. And she's, been able to step into an industry that is very driven by men, and
Pardon the
teach.
pun.
Yeah, that's true. Driven by men. They drive the trucks usually. But, we're not just moving in storage. We have a 50,000 square foot warehouse that is impeccable. Quite literally, my mom mops it at least once a week personally. It's always been the family joke. She makes sure the warehouse floors are cleaner sometimes than the house floors, because she takes so much pride in our warehouse. And that I know is carried down from her dad, because that was really important to my grandfather too. But she's taught so many in this industry, but also taught people not in the moving and storage industry, who she's worked with at the chamber.
Yep.
And different avenues. And so, yeah, I'm just grateful to be her number one student, maybe her favorite student, but also the one who's gotten the most lessons. But yeah, moving and storage is something we're passionate about, and I don't think it has a ton to do with the boxes. It has to do with the people behind those boxes and the legacy that we get to carry forward. So,
And you see, but that's the most compelling aspect to this, because no matter what business that you're in, if you don't have that passion for it, you might even be successful, but it won't be heartfelt. It won't be compelling. And that's why I so much admire the way you guys brand your business, because that aspect of community and relationship building is a rare commodity, especially in profit-driven businesses. And as you stated earlier, there's been times when your mother has made decisions at losses because she was sacrificing for her employees. That is one of the most impressive aspects of management. And one of the reasons why we have such a breakdown in labor management relations is because sometimes labor isn't appreciated the way it often should be.
Right.
And I know that Daily Moving places a high priority on that. Talk a little bit about that, Victoria, because, not everybody goes to college, and sometimes people are in the job market just to make ends meet. And when you have that stress, you don't need the stress of not being able to rely on your employer. Talk about that.
Yeah. We can sell all we want in the office. We can say whatever we want, right? And that's actually what you find a lot of times with moving companies. When you talk to a van line or whatever, it's very disconnected. Not with us. Like I said, we've had a crew of men, and of course we've added, and there's been some turnover, but we hire and we train and we keep people that we know are going to do what we say we're going to do. And you don't make it to 100 years old if that's not the case, right? If you say one thing in the office and then, your trucks are showing up and the complete opposite experience is happening, and then the office disappears, that's not going to last, right? And so we say all the time, moving is real people moving actual stuff, and things happen, right? Every single one of us listening or in this room has broken a glass, right? The difference is like, do you break a glass on your kitchen floor and then say like, well, that's going to stay there for 15 years? No, you deal with it. You pick it up. And so that's what we've built as a company. We don't promise 100% accuracy. We promise pretty good accuracy. But if there is a problem, we stand behind the people we employ, because We care about what we do. We care about people's belongings. I personally, I've moved from an apartment to my first home I bought to my second home I bought. Of course, I hired dailies, but like they handled my stuff because I trust the people who pick up these boxes. And that's what we honestly offer you. And that is why we have clients come back time and time and time again. We have people who are on the West Coast who we moved out there who will only allow us to move them on the West Coast because they know that dailies is just different because the people we hire, we care about them. They are our family. This is the legacy that we've built. Some of them might literally be family. My brothers are out on the trucks from time to time. My brother just took a shipment to Ohio personally. But we also, like the guys that we hire, we train and we trust them. And so that is the difference. We're not a van line where you pick up and you hear an office, you get an office that's disconnected from the person who shows up your front door. Our guys come out of our office every morning with the paperwork that show up on your front step. And that's just the difference, and as long as I'm in any sort of control, that will not change. And for sure, if my mom is in charge, it will not change because that is what matters to people when you show up and you deliver what you say you're going to deliver.
Those, ladies and gentlemen, are the building blocks for success. No matter what business you're in, no matter what you're doing, you lay that foundation and you lay that foundation correctly, and everything will take place from there. I just think that it's imperative that, especially as a young female entrepreneur, that you continue to carry this message throughout the community because you never know of that person that you might be able to influence that has that great idea but doesn't necessarily know how to implement it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what business that they want to go into. Totally. The success scheme is still the same.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like once you can empower people to fulfill their God-given purpose, that is what raises communities. And there are more resources in our community than what we think. And what we can learn with due diligence is that all of the needs that exist in a community can be met when we're working together and collaborating.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. People matter, and I'm not going to get super churchy here, but the original church literally is written, there was not a need among them, right? And so if we were to apply those, principles, and we do in our company, that's why we do what we do, because when we need something, we know who we can turn to too. We've built friendships too. We don't have it all together 100% of the time. We need people, to support our business too.
Now, we ain't gonna get all preachy and churchy and everything up here, but let's say this now, okay? Because when we look out for each other, we got each other's backs. We ain't gotta be perfect, right?
That's right.
And we'll never be perfect anyway. However, we can strive for perfection together.
Yeah. We can count on each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key right there. I don't know. I didn't think we was gonna be going to church today here on CT Views, but
hey, you invited me. Of course.
Yeah, hey, all y'all in the congregation, all y'all got ears to hear. You better listen up. Yeah. All right, bringing it to you with some food for thought. Okay. Speaking of food for thought, we love to share with you guys all the great things that our co-host Clarice does here on the show, and she's so talented. And this is a segment that we want to share with you. I think she was doing one of her Zumba class. Dan, is this a Zumba? So without further ado, let's watch Coco, my lovely co-host Clarice Villarreal, do her thing.
Gotta make your body. Oh, hi guys. Clarice Coco Villarreal here from CT Views. I'm just getting into the music. You're probably wondering what I'm doing. Well, I am down here at 2:30 El Grasso Boulevard, which is the building for daily moving and storage. But believe it or not, they've got a fitness center. And also in the other room, there is a Zumba class going on. And I was just so moved by the music, I had to move myself. She has a great facility here with rooms for rent. Okay, you can rent out the room for birthday parties, for wedding events, for anything that you can imagine. Like I said, Zumba's going on. Z Fitness Factory just started up a Zumba class over there. Let's go check it out. I'm going to jump in and see if I can do some of these movements. Let's go. I'm tapping out, guys. This is a lot. It's very high energy. I couldn't keep up. I just had a 1 hour intense class, Zumba class here at Z Fitness Factory. Let me just tell you, I need more lessons because my knees were hurting. I was down on the ground. I was out of breath. But it's high energy. It's fun. The music just takes you away. You're going to love it. They have classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday down here at 230 El Grasso Boulevard, right inside the Daily Moving and Storage Building. You should come on down and check it out.
And that was my very talented co-host,
That was
Clarice Coco Villarroel. Zumba. Zumba. Yeah, that I Zumba's fun.
so fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done a Zumba class in a long time, but
Yeah,
I might try that one. Especially the commute wouldn't be hard.
I don't know if you guys have witnessed what's happening in tonight's show, but I think Victoria actually programmed tonight's show. Every segment that we've had, she has either been a part of or in some way, shape, or form or another. So she was related to Leanne for the segment for Five Scoops, and their warehouse is where Clarice filmed the Zumba segment from. So you guys are all over the place.
We are. I'm telling you, I'll say it again. It's this northwest corner. It's
It is.
magic.
It is. She keeps bringing home the point, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. So no doubt. Now, watching the little thing there with Clarice in the Zumba class, and I haven't been able to participate yet, but I'm dying to get on the pickleball court. Talk to our audience about some of the amenities that you have at your space.
Yeah. So we are at 230 El Grasso Avenue in Torrington, right on the Torrington-Winstead line, and we have a 50,000 square foot warehouse. And we love fun. I love to say it all the time. My mom is magic, and she creates it whenever she can. And so around COVID time, we, when things were starting to get cold and we were about to be stuck inside, we put a pickleball court in our warehouse. And so that footage that you just saw is our actual space. And so we paint it, we clean it, and we have so much fun. And so you can rent that pickleball space. You can call the daily office line or my mom's personal cell, which is everywhere around town, and book that court. So we have parties there. We host, we partner with Take Flight Jump Houses, and they bring their jump houses into our space, and they blow up their inflatables in our warehouse because we can stack 3. I don't know if you saw in the back there, we have in our storage facility, we have basically like storage units that you can stack 3 on top of each other. So that's like our long-term storage solution. So say you were selling your house in Connecticut and downsizing to Florida, but you hadn't quite decided what you were going to buy in Florida. We kind of come, pack up your house, you sell your Connecticut house, and your stuff can stay in our warehouse in a pallet in our warehouse. And so yes, we can stack 3 high. So it's a very, very tall ceiling. I remember when we were looking for buildings, my mom would not settle for anything less than 3 high with the forklift getting them up there. So in our facility, we have the long-term storage. We also have some self-storage units that not a ton of people know about, but they are full right now. But get on the list if you need self-storage. You can come into our warehouse, and that's you can come in just like the regular storage units, but we also have facilities like party rentals and pickleball. So
now, I don't know about y'all out there looking at the show, but I don't know too many moving companies that offer amenities like that.
did we say we were like anyone else, or did we say we stand above the rest?
Yeah, I'm standing above the rest, but I'm just saying, like, okay, I come down to your place, put in my stuff, getting ready to move everything, and with my couple buddies that are going to be moving, and I got them some pizza. Hey man, we gonna stop and play a little pickleball.
That's it.
I mean,
we supply fun and secured storage.
It don't get much better than that.
It does not. It does not. Yeah, it's one of the things that makes this fun, right? A lot of times with business, you can keep your head down and plow it out, or you can enjoy the ride. And that is what, again, our legacy is. We have tons of fun doing what we do. And yeah, there's the practical side of it where we do put our head down and get the work done like we promise we're going to. But we also have, fun along the way.
That's so cool. And that's what it's all about, because at the end of the day, if you can't have a little fun, then why do it?
What is this about?
Enjoy each other.
Totally.
And what better feeling of success can you have knowing that you've just satisfied another customer?
Yeah. It is the best because, again, it's this quality service that we provide, but it's also safety. We realize that we're moving like personal stuff. We're packing grandma's boxes and, we're moving them from home to home, like your personal stuff. That's important to us. And so the satisfaction of a customer is not just like, a good review. It's homes and people that matter.
Well, I think too, you're taking in consideration the fact that you're dealing with people in a very intimate place at an intimate time, when there is a myriad of emotions that are going on, including anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Gina is very aware of that, and looks to work with her customers so that they amp down the anxiety and can really focus on the move.
Listen, the first person I call when I'm anxious is my mom, and I think the first person you should call when it comes to moving needs when you're anxious is my mom. For sure. She says all the time that they say the 3 most stressed out times in your life is death, divorce, and moving. And so a lot of times the moving part might have a factor of the other one is involved as well, right? And so we want to care for you where you are. And because we are independently owned, family run, you will pick up the phone, you will get our office, and you will get one of us. You will literally get one of us. I send out mailers every month that I handwrite to homes that just hit the market. And I sign it Victoria, because I hope that somebody picks up the phone and says, hey, Victoria sent me a postcard. Is she really in the office? Like, I am.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. And keeping with our community vibe, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take this opportunity to send out our T-Town shout-outs. We encourage you to patronize and support these local businesses and help continue to keep Torrington at the top. I want to give a big shout-out to Don's Getaway, located at 24 Winstead Road, Torrington, Connecticut. Christie's Restaurant, located at 545 Winstead Road in Torrington, Connecticut. Health Insurance Services, located at 438 Main Street in Torrington, Connecticut. Wall and Fraunhofer, located at 117 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Soul Latina Cafe, located at 31 Hungerford Street in Torrington, Connecticut. Jimmy's Store, located at 1238 East Main Street in Torrington, Connecticut. 5 Points Art Center, located at 855 University Drive. And last but not least, George's Music, located at 905 New Harrington Road in Torrington, Connecticut. And one last shout out to our sponsors. Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite number 1, Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. The Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120. Torrington, Connecticut, the Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut, pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. So, Victoria, thank you so much. You made my day.
Oh, you made my day. This was a pleasure.
I mean, we were so looking forward to having you back here, and glad we could. I know we had some scheduling stuff going on before, but whatever we could have done to accommodate you, to make sure that you could join us and speak to our audience and let everybody know about the great things and great work that Daily Moving is doing in the community.
Well, we're proud of what we do. We're proud of what we do.
And I'm proud of what you guys do too. And we definitely want to have you back here so you can give us an update on the great things that are going on. I would love to. Okay?
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you all once again, all those that are checking us out on Facebook Live. We hope we didn't alienate you too much, but we do the best that we can do. Also to Doug and to Dan for, I don't know what they do, but I just thought I'd give them some props anyway. But most of all, we want to thank you for tuning in and checking us out. In the meantime, we're on Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 3 p.m. And also, as is today, Tuesday, 6 p.m. is your time with us right here at your local Access Altice Channel 5 for CT Views. We'll see you back next week. City Views.